One of the key points to hope, wait, and keep alert is the step of waiting. Waiting is not passive, sitting, or lazy time where we get to watch our watches count measured beats of time or moving to prepare the way. And boy, is there a lot in our way between now and celebrating the coming of Christ. Our first task is to focus for this week. Advent waiting is about love. In our lectionary text for this week, we have the original forerunner to Jesus. That is John the Baptist. And John was an unusual guy. John knew that waiting for the Messiah was more than just sitting on his heels or counting grains of sand to pass the time. It was a time to prepare the way and to teach of love and God's great love for us, a chance to experience love. So today I get to introduce the headliner, Miss Anna Olson, who is going to share a little about her experience on the mission trip, a direct experience of God's love for her and others.
There is a time in your life when you realize what's really important to you. Not something that just carries your happiness for a day, but something that extends your pleasure over a whole lifetime. That, to me, is helping others. I'm not saying this for everyone to think I'm a reincarnation of Mother Teresa. I'm simply stating this because I experienced true happiness with helping others on the mission trip I participated in last summer. Why was that event so important to me, you ask? It was easily, hands down, one of the best experiences in my life so far. So to start off the story of the miraculous trip, I'll be completely honest. I didn't really want to go. Not because I didn't want to help or be a part of my church. It was completely based off my laziness and unwillingness to get off the couch. Luckily, Elisa and Sarah were not willing to give up on me quite yet. They sent letters and reminders, continuously reminding me how I should go and how it would be a life-changing experience. Thank goodness they didn't let me take the lazy way out, because the next thing I knew, I was packing my bags for Martin, South Dakota. The car rides to and from Martin were an adventure within itself. The ride there left us with the jitters from hiding from a scorpion that allegedly came flying through our window, when in reality it was actually a dragonfly. It also left us with some unwanted cramps from trying to position our bodies in compact spaces. We also ended up at the Corn Palace. Even though I passed corn on a daily basis, I was still surprised by that yellow vegetable's ability to make such a big deal of itself. We actually did finally make it to Martin, South Dakota in one piece, pulling into a local high school that would be our home for the next week. My initial thought was, man, we have to sleep in the school. But then when I walked in, I realized how blessed I was to be staying in such a nice facility with running waters and fans and other appliances. But what really made the stay at that school tolerable was the people. Not only were our youth work supervisors super awesome, but also the other kids our church, but also I'm sure that all of us that went to Martin can agree that PC is a pretty cool guy. A quick description of PC. Well, obviously by his name, he enjoyed being called personal computer over his actual name, Chrome, some of the time. He wasn't just for laughs, though. He was one of the many leaders that we really connected with while on the trip. He was very good at listening and pretty wise beyond his years. Now, for some of the highlights with those specific friends and leaders consisted of so many. A few being going to a local park and attempting to do a cultural Native American dance, going on a hike to see the scenery we didn't see before, and a scavenger hunt ending with ice cream at Dairy Queen. Well, the ice cream was a daily thing due to our coaxing to Andy Sherp and a few other leaders. Believe it or not, we actually did get a lot of work done with all that fun though. So much work that we are even tired for months after the trip. And I'm not just saying that to convince my parents I'm capable of doing hard labor. We successfully painted lots of outdoor furniture at a Martin nursing home, all while meeting the residents there. We got a full house painted in a part of another and helped clean up the trash in our own temporary living area. Easier said than done, trust me. Although all of those experiences were amazing, there was one moment on that trip that really touched my heart. Meeting the kids at a children's club in the area was a life-changing experience for me. The club was located at a nice community park and was established specifically to teach kids about God and to give them a loving environment to come to. Before I start explaining my personal experience there, I would like you all to realize those kids live in awful, terrible situations. The first date with them there left me astonished. These kids had a lack of hygiene and parental guidance. They've seen more disappointment in a day than I have experienced in a whole entire month. They often don't even have parents that care enough to tell them to simply brush their teeth. Even with all those struggles, those kids were some of the most loving kids I've ever met. Kids I've never met came up to me and hugged me to the point where I couldn't get them to release. Although all of those kids were wonderful, there was one little girl that made a real connection with me. That sassy little girl was named Michelle. Why do I call her sassy, you ask? The first day I saw her, she wouldn't talk to anyone. When I tried, she simply stuck up her nose and walked away. Not until the very last hour of the very first day did she finally speak to me. I learned that her favorite movie is Frozen. Her favorite food is Doritos. I also learned that her dad used to beat her. That amazing little girl was tormented by her father and wore the same outfit every day I saw her because her mother couldn't afford to buy her clothes. The same little girl that shared so many things with me. The little girl that let me into her park playground castle where she was a princess. But not only did she rule that castle, but she also insisted on saving and protecting her sister, mom, and other citizens in the land from danger. The girl that let me spend long hours sitting in her safe place, the place that was under a giant tree with beautiful foliage, a place where we would lie under the tree and look up at the sky, trying to decipher the clouds. After learning that horrible thing, I didn't know how she could possibly be in worse living conditions. Yet she still had a positive attitude, telling me about the things she wanted to do and her life goals that she wanted to accomplish. That, on top of our limited time together, made me really sad. Listening to her beg me to stay was even harder. The last day that I saw her, she rode her bike all the way from her house, that was all the way across town, and got to the park an hour before she was supposed to. When I saw her, my heart filled with joy, and we literally both ran from opposite sides of the park to only meet in the middle to give a huge hug like we were from some cheesy movie. I realize now that the real reason she was so cold to me when we first met was because just when she let someone get close to her, they would leave. That was a really tough thing for me to deal with. I really hated to be yet another person to leave her. Leaving all those kids on that mission trip was extremely hard. Leaving the children and residents broke our hearts. But maybe it wasn't even leaving that was so hard. It was the unpredicted future yet to come to them that I wouldn't be a part of. I won't be able to see them grow up. I can never help them make good decisions and develop a good career. I will never be there to make sure they fall in love with people that don't abuse them and see them try to attempt to break this vicious circle of abusive behavior. I will never be able to receive those hugs that wrap me like a blanket, engulfing me with warmth. The one thing that I know I will keep in my heart is a lesson they taught me. Love unconditionally and help others, because although I didn't get to see those kids for long, I know that I impacted them and they definitely impacted me. These kids wanted love, the idea that someone was there for them. And I, along with my youth group, offered that to them. So after a week of hard work, sleep deprivation, illness, and a sudden case of pink eye, our youth group departed from Martin, South Dakota. It ended as quickly as it began, but left us feeling like those were some of the most fulfilling days of our lives. But I personally came out with a lesson. I walked into the mission trip thinking, I'm here to help the kids of Martin. I'm here because I want to help them. By the end of the trip, I finally started saying, we are here to work for Jesus Christ, to serve the community. During the trip, I slowly started realizing that it wasn't me helping them. It wasn't me doing it. It was God working through all of us. I've always thought that I was the one making myself better, making myself act and feel and achieve the things I do. It's not. God determines the situations we go through and how to determine those situations. So when you are stuck in the difficult puzzle of life, all you have to remember is that God is the answer to the puzzle. And God is the answer to all the questions left unanswered. He is the one person that will always be there for us. So what is the true definition of happiness? I don't need a dictionary for this anymore. First off, help someone in need. Go out in the community and do anything you can to help someone, or something that really needs a helping hand. But in order for a helping hand to really be served, we need to stop helping for personal benefit or recognition. If we stop worrying about silly things like that, we would realize that the true benefit is the smile we get from the people we help. Second off, believe God. Try to ignore the devil's persuasion and follow the path to righteousness. The helping others and believing in God are the easy things, because the way to receive happiness is to truly love God and love others. Even when we are mad or sad or upset with the world, love. Because even in the darkest of times, love is worth fighting for. God is worth fighting for. The one thing distracting us from love is the sin that will always occur in the human organism. The sin that distracts us every day and makes us lose sight of God. We aren't saints. We make mistakes. We do bad things. But the one thing that we can do is love and ask for forgiveness. He was there for us the day we were born and will be there for us until that day that we die and much longer after. He sacrificed his only son to save us. If he can do all of that for us, the least we can do is try. We can try to honor him, fulfill his commands, and love others unconditionally. Some say that trying is going to do nothing. But God is a shepherd, and we are his sheep. And I think that trying is the best thing that a sheep can do. Thank you.